What's going on, everybody? I know we got a couple people in the chat already. I was trying to put some stuff together quickly in between the videos. So, again, I know I've been talking about this for too long, but a lot of stuff got put on the back burner this week, working on this room, that wall. So a lot of stuff got put on the back burner. So, I know as part of the members for Donut Life, I do, you get a shout out at that particular level that a lot of you guys are at. And I've got 3 people that are at that level for shout outs. And I have worked on the frames of it. That's why I think Andy, I'd ask you for your logo, stuff like that. I'm putting together a nice little end clip for you guys to show you and shout you guys out more for all you guys that do join Donut Life at the shout out level. So unfortunately, it's not done yet. Like I said, a lot of editing this week got put on the back burner 100%, and it just is what it is. So I want to throw this out, and I'll say it again at the end. I want to throw this out to my Donut Life members that get a shout out, which is Jesse Lou Comics and Pops, Andy Roberts, who I believe it's all collectibles, something like that, and Chase's Kingdom. All you guys are fantastic, and I appreciate you guys for being members as well. But like I said, a lot of things just have been kind of completely pushed off the back burner to work on this back wall. Still some work to be done with some shelving. This way, up and over this way. You're going to try to put some shelvings up here because I've still got a lot of pops sitting outside in that corner where it used to be that we have no place for it. And we don't want to over clutter that back wall as well, because, kind of my wife's done real well on trying to separate it out. Because we just don't want just a full wall of pops. Sometimes it just looks over cluttered. So that's what we've been doing with it. So again, for anybody that has subscribed to me, no videos came out this week, unfortunately. I had to make the sacrifice to focus on everything that's going on behind me. So I wanted to get to there. Now, a couple of things before we get to today's title. Of course, we're going to be talking about, and I know that, of course, if I got Jesse Lou in here, he's probably going to school me on some of this stuff, but I've actually done some more research. I've been looking into this a little bit more. I felt I wanted to hit you guys up with this because, to be honest with you, I think the way that the MCU is setting up, they are setting this thing up for multiple different Avengers teams, as there has been many different Avengers teams throughout the world, or throughout the Marvel timeline. So I'm going to get into 4 that I think are very possible, that I think are even being set up to come out, and one that I would like to see come back, but it's probably more of a hope than anything. But before I did that, I did want to hit you guys up because I actually picked up some items this week. And sometimes I think when I do some of these random pickups, sometimes I used to save them in the back for, to do them on videos and stuff like that. But, sometimes that stuff just gets forgotten. So I want to show you guys what I got recently this week. I picked this guy up because, again, it's the only one of the commons of the new ones I didn't have yet. But we had Zombie Thor. Man, this guy is awesome. As you guys know, I love this zombie line. And I just think Zombie Thor was just one of the great ones. Of course, I still think it's weird that we've gotten 2 different lines of zombies. We still haven't gotten an Iron Man or a Captain. What's going on with that? I don't know. But let me take him out, show you guys a little bit closer, because I just love this. I love how they got the green on the hammer, by the way. But I like also how they use the classic comic helmet to that. I think it's great. He's got some green, stuff on the helmet. Of course, he's got rib cages being shown. The tattered cape as well. On the hammer. But I just think that's a great looking pop. I like how they use the classic comic looking, Thor on here. And I just think that one's awesome. Now, this other one I just found today, and I was like, dude, I got to buy this. I know when I came home with it, my wife was about to kill me, especially after putting all that stuff together. But I had to buy the 10-inch Zombie Black Panther. Have you guys seen this thing yet? The first time I had seen it, I had just happened to be in the store, and I was like, dude, it's zombies, dude. I gotta get this thing. But let me take this thing out real fast because That's the best thing about these 10-inch zombies is there's so much detail to these things. I absolutely love them. Check this guy out. So I like this because right here on the foot, nonetheless, he's got, of course, green ooze coming out. His foot's pretty much completely, I don't know, I guess melted off or anything like that. But I mean, the mask is great. Of course, we got holes, we got scratches. The teeth are always evident. Of course, it is Marvel, so it is a giant bobblehead. But I just think this looks great. The details on the inside, all of it just looks awesome. And of course, you still got the claws, being his Black Panther. Even the back, you got the spine showing. This is just an awesome looking pop. This is actually because I think I've got two other ones of the 10-inch zombies. If you guys can see, way up there at the top, I've got the Magneto and I've got the Wolverine one. I still got, I think, two more. I got the Hulk and the Deadpool one to still get. But I'm going to stick him back here probably for the rest of the show to kind of watch over the show. But that's an awesome pop. I love that guy. He's just, I knew when they brought him out, I was gonna have to find that. But I think that thing is fantastic. So I just had to open these things up for you guys on here because I think these, especially the details on that Black Panther is ridiculous. But I also do have a giveaway coming up this video. In fact, I left it up here. And since we are talking about zombies, I'm going to get everything falling. I found one for you guys that I already have. And I was like, I got to get these. I got to give this thing away. But today we are going to be giving away Zombie MODOK to someone here. Now we are using the new international rules out here. Oops. I didn't damage the box. I swear to God. It's a good looking box. I got this from Books A Million. And, but we are going to give that guy away at the end of the video. Now I am, because international is starting to cost a lot for shipping. So I've myself and Wayne have both kind of partaked on the same thing that the Luau does, that I will ship international for anybody that's part of the giveaway. And I'll tell you guys how to be part of it. But I'll cover up to $10 of the shipping. Everything after that is on you guys. So the new international rules, I'm sorry. I know I've been sending them out to you guys easily, but unfortunately, this shipping costs on these international stuff is getting ridiculous. So, I apologize, but I got to do something. But anyway, so we are going to be giving that MODOK away. I'll tell you guys how to get entered into that at the end of towards the end of the video. Once we get into it a little bit more, but that will be going to somebody. And I to be honest with you, 1,000% honest with you, I haven't even fully decided how I'm giving it away. So we're going to figure that out at the very, very end. But I did want to hit up you guys real quick. Of course, we got Jesse Luke Comics and Pops in here. As always, thank you very much. We've got Andy Roberts. And hey, I'm glad you stayed up too. I know it's real late over there in England for you guys. Of course, I've missed the Foul Mouth Slush in the earlier live, but definitely, I got a good laugh this week because I know last week when JK and I I was telling him about some of your stuff, you asked me if you could use that clip. I had no way had any idea how you were going to use that, but I figured you were going to use it in a good way, and I just happened to click on one of your videos, and all of a sudden, like it was like two battles or something, and all of a sudden my logo popped up. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then it was the two of us talking about it. So I thank you for that. Thank you for the props. Definitely, I think you used it in a great way. So we've got my good buddy Wilby Poppin. What's going on, man? How you been doing? How's life been treating you? But yes, thank you. Like this up again. You gotta thank my wonderful wife. She's probably I gave her full design on it. And to be honest with you, she did most of the work to it. I know somebody made a comment in an earlier chat that, yes, the door is very white compared to everything else. But the way I'm going to angle this during videos, I don't think you're going to see the door, unfortunately. So the way we're going to angle it, you're just going to see the corner back in this area. But, you'll see it, of course, in the live. It just is what it is. It's not that big of a room, to be honest with you. We've got our good buddy K Titus from Japan. What's going on, man? I appreciate you stopping by. So, anyways, so as I was talking from the title, there are, in my opinion, I think Marvel is setting up. And again, guys, please add in, anything that you think, because I mean, all this is speculation as it is. Nothing. I know that there's been a lot of rumors of certain things, but nothing, I believe, has been fully confirmed from MCU or anything like that. I know there's been a lot of talks with different ones, but I don't think there's been full confirmations on some of this. But I'm even going to go to my notes because, like I said, I've been looking at this a lot because I try to look at the MCU sometimes and try to think, okay, what are they trying to do? Because, I mean, why not? I mean, that's just part of, especially being a YouTuber is trying to guess and talk about it. I could be 100% wrong on this, but I think there's some truth to this, at least in one area. But we're gonna go with where I think. Now, of course, out of the four, the one I'm really not going to talk about too much is, of course, the new Avengers. We know that eventually they are going to, get into the new Avengers. What that new Avengers team is going to look like, we don't know. It's still building. They're building, the new world. They're introducing new characters. But of course, we're going to have a new Avengers set up at some point. Who's going to run them? Who's going to lead them? I don't know. Is it going to be Sam? Is it going to be Thor? Is it going to be somebody else? I mean, it's yet to be seen. I mean, we don't even know yet what has happened to a lot of characters because we've only gotten 2 TV shows, so we don't know what's happened to Mark Ruffalo's character, the Hulk. The smart Hulk. We haven't seen him yet. We don't know what's happened with him since the blip. We're eventually going to see what happens to Hawkeye since the blip. Of course, we're going to see, a whole lot of things. So there's still a lot of questions to be added. But one, I'm going to hit it first. I think the one thing that I think they are eventually setting up for is the Dark Avengers. Now, there has been a lot of rumors about Marvel, bringing out the Dark Avengers. And there's even some fake timelines of people showing the Dark Avengers. But as far as my research goes and what I've seen is I don't think, to be 1,000% honest with you, I don't think that I don't think, to be honest with you, that they brought out officially saying we're doing the Dark Avengers. That's what everyone's speculating into Phase 5, even with the Thunderbolts. But I don't even think that they've officially said that they're doing the Thunderbolts yet either. But I think that's definitely they're fully setting up for them. But the key to the Thunderbolts and the Dark Avengers lies on one character, and we have not yet seen that one character. And I think we're hopefully going to see them within the Spider-Verse, maybe in the new Spider-Man, which, of course, if you guys know the comics, and I know Jesse Lee does, you're going to have Norman Osborn. Norman Osborn is the key to both of those. Now, of course, the Thunderbolts are, essentially put together by, the General, Thunderbolt Ross, and built together, stuff like that. But when the Dark Avengers came around, that was a whole nother area of characters that came through that they wanted to build up another Avengers team. And Norman Osborn, I believe, and again, this is what I've read, Norman Osborn is the one that actually is asked to put together this team of Dark Avengers. Originally, kind of giving it on a perspective, because of course we know the military, essentially, even though the the Avengers, after the events of Endgame, everyone that didn't sign the Soviet Accords, have been pardoned and all this stuff. We all know that it seems like the government doesn't really want to, did I not say Norman? I don't know. Maybe I didn't say it. Maybe I said it wrong. But he, we all know that everybody, obviously from the beginning events of Falcon and Winter Soldier, the government wants to do their own thing. They want to appoint their own Captain America. They want to do all this own stuff. So, of course, they're going to want to, try to create an Avengers team that they can control. And I think that's where the Dark Avengers technically came in. They went to Norman Osborn and and he kind of put this team together. Now I believe that the original Dark Avengers, I thought it was different, to be honest with you, but this is where I had pulled up where the original Dark Avengers had, which was Sentry, Ares, Novar, Matt Garman as Spider-Man, which was the black and white Spider-Man. We have Moonstone, Captain Marvel. We got the Bullseye, Hawkeye, the Darken, or no, it's not Darken. It's how do you pronounce that? I can't remember. I know I wrote it down wrong. But a version of Wolverine, but it really doesn't look like anything like Wolverine. And he looks like this big, like Viking style Wolverine. And then of course Norman Osborn, who actually gets into an iron suit and plays Iron Patriot. Now of course we already know there is an Iron Patriot in War Machine, but I don't think he's actually played Iron Patriot. I'm not sure. I can't remember. You guys will have to comment and let me know if that was correct, because I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But and I think this is going to. I'm going to hope that Norman Osborn becomes a main character in No Way Home, because I think that's going to introduce. If that becomes the hey, Pop T, thank you for popping in. I definitely appreciate you. And I know we had a couple other additions. DJ Dominic, appreciate you stopping in. Pop T, appreciate you coming in. And then, of course, like I said, I know Jesse was going to school me on some of this, but Matt Garman was the original Scorpion. Okay, that one I did not know. But I know he played as he was a Black Spider-Man, I believe, as well, at some point. But if they introduce, I'd like to say if they introduce Norman Osborn in Spider-Man No Way Home, I'd like to say you're going to have. We all knew that Armor Wars was supposed to be based after Rhodey, War Machine, but I think that Dakin is Wolverine's son. Okay, I didn't know that one. I didn't know. There's so much Marvel lore that I know a lot, but there's a whole lot I don't know. So I'm learning all this stuff as I go, as I'm doing this research for you guys. And but I definitely, he looked bulky, man. It looked pretty awesome. Definitely nowhere like Wolverine, but I might have to find some more comics on this. But again, these were also in events after as we know, this is confirmed that these Dark Avengers were actually also asked by the government to be put together after, or was it during the Skrull Secret Invasion. Now we do know that there is a Secret Invasion TV show coming to Disney Plus, and I think that is going to set up the Dark Avengers. So when I started looking into this, I started looking. You got Armor Wars coming out. That could be a battle between War Machine and Norman Osborn's Iron Patriot. You got the Skrull Secret Invasion coming around, so that's why they may come in. So a lot of times you start looking at different things that are coming around and saying, okay, well, can this be an opportunity? And as a possible setup for a Dark Avengers. Now, personally, looking more into the Dark Avengers, and I need to find some. To be honest, I need to find some comic books. If any of you guys got some comic books of Dark Avengers, please lend them out. I'm going to start hitting up the comic book shops for Dark Avengers, and I think this is going to be a great series to get. But of course, you got to remember that once Norman Osborn started Dark Avengers, the Thunderbolts went to the wayside because he was running the Thunderbolts, and he went to Dark Avengers and kind of went to the wayside after that. Again, I don't know the details. I think somebody did eventually pick that up, but what you say? I can see a Dark. He has daddy issues. What? Oh, we know Norman has. He's always had daddy issues, for sure. I mean, that's always been the case with him. But like you said, I don't know. I never did get that point when I read into this. I'm like, why did he become Iron Patriot? That just didn't make a whole lot of sense. But I think there was also a battle between Stark Tech and maybe he because of course we do know that there was listed that after, I think towards the end of when in Spider-Man, Of course, the first Spider-Man with Tom Holland, they were leaving Stark Tower, and I believe there was a clip shot of something that Oscorp bought Stark Tower. So we know that the Osborns are in the MCU. We just haven't been introduced into them yet. It could be a blend of Secret Invasion, Dark Avengers. I agree with you, and I think Secret Invasion is going to lead to Dark Avengers, and I think that could be something. And I'm like I said, I think from what I've read and stuff like that, I gotta get my hands on the comic books to get more involved in the storyline of this. But man, that Dark Avengers, this could really be something. So I'm really interested to see how this molds and how this gets into it. But that could be, if they move into Dark Avengers, and the Dark Avengers come into it, and eventually when they get the new Avengers into it, man, you got a whole nother world of all kinds of possibilities. I mean, as we know with the Marvel Universe alone, luckily, other than the chaos that is happening over at LucasArts or Lucasfilms, we've got, Marvel has a president, Kevin Feige, that is a fan first and wants to see these put together. Now, even the fans, even though Infinity Wars didn't end the way the comics did, I think most fans can respect the way that they had run its course and the way it's going into it. But I definitely think that it's in there. You found a complete set for $54 for a complete set of Dark Avengers. You may have to send me the link on that. I might have to check that out. But I definitely also, I mean, I can find that stuff online too, but I'm going to definitely hit up my comic book shop, because when it comes to comics, I definitely like to support my local comic book shop and things like that. And I always recommend get out there, get some comics, support your local comic book shops, because they need us out there. And a lot of times my guy is great. The comic book shop I go to, if I give him specific titles, and anytime he sees them coming in, he notifies me or sets them aside for me. And we go from there. I don't have I know a lot of people have all the new issue stuff that comes in. I don't have one of those, but anytime like I'm trying to collect the six comics of the Infinity Wars, and so I'm missing a couple left, and he's keeping an eye out for me on those ones. But I like to support my local comic book shop, even if it takes a while to find a complete set. I'm okay with that, as long as I can help support them. But again, that's the Dark Avengers. I think that there is a lot of possibilities. There's a lot of things that are leaning into that, and I think we could have something here. The next one that I am very confident they're leading into this, because there's so many things being out there that are just there's hints, even in this new Falcon Winter Soldier. What Dominic said, I said, yeah, I agree, supporting local. I don't much about them value wise. I don't know. I'm not very good, and maybe Jesse Lou can speak on this. I'm not good like pops. I mean, you've got many ways you can value your pops, from if you want to look on eBay or Funko or Pop Price Guide or something like that. I mean, the only way I can really know or value comics is from what they're selling for on eBay. That's the only way I've been able to possibly even get some sort of value when it comes to comics. But to be honest with you, I look at pop sometimes. Like when I bought Sisu today, this one, I was $8 pop. It's valuing up in the 50s right now. I was like, I'm not gonna pass that up. Plus, my kids like Raya, so I know my daughter's gonna, absolutely love that pop. But sometimes I do look at. I mean, I get pops that I want and I like it. That's why I'm such diehard in these Marvel Zombies. But a lot of times you still look at them as a value. To me, I don't know if please tell me if I'm not the only one here, but I look at comic books, and I have my stack of comic books in my closet. I don't look at them as huge value. I mean, if I got a key issue, like Spider-Man 300 or the first appearance of Carnage, or if you can get the first appearance of Falcon, something like that. If you get a key issue, then that's fantastic. Yes, you're going to know your value of that. You're probably going to get it graded, of course, and you're going to know your values of those. But for the rest of comics that are telling these great storylines, I really don't put a lot of effort into figuring out the value of comics, because to me, they're mine. I mean, they stay in my collection, and that's just the way I see it. But I like I said, unless it's a key issue, like I said, the only one that I would like to eventually find, and I know it's going to be expensive, is the Spider-Man 9/11 issue, because I know that's a very rare comic, and they only made so many, and I'd love to be able to read that comic nonetheless. And I refuse to. I'm all for digital reading on like books, but when it comes to comic books, I change my tune. I got to have a comic book in my hand. I got to be able to grab that comic book, read that comic book, smell the paper, all that good stuff, and for me, I just got to have comic books in my hand. So. But anyways, back to what we're going is Young Avengers. We know that come on. We've already seen hints from Young Avengers coming in of Billy and Tommy. We know Billy and Tommy. Wayne saying Thunderbolts. Yes, Thunderbolts is coming. I think Thunderbolts is being built up, but then Thunderbolts is going to get pushed to the side after the Skrull Secret Invasion. And then they're going to build Dark Avengers, and I think the Thunderbolts are going to go to the wayside after that. But that's just my theory on that. But Young Avengers, I think we know that they're building up. Of course, we see from WandaVision, we got Billy and Tommy. Of course, we know that they're eventually going to come back with Mephisto. By the way, Wayne, I know Wayne's in here. Mephisto is still coming. I'm sorry, I don't know what world you're in, but Mephisto is still coming, because that's how Billy and Tommy become who they are. They were conceived by the shards of Mephisto's soul. So we know he's coming. Now, is he going to come in Phase 4? Is he going to show up in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Mephisto's coming at some point. And I may be sitting on that for 10 years, and he'll show up in 10 years. But I'm going to say that for a long time. I'm going to continue saying that the Mephisto is eventually coming, and I want to see that nonetheless. But we know that they're there. What do you say? Says, I think we will see the fall of the Avengers and the rise. I don't think you're going to see the fall of I think you're going to see the rise of the Thunderbolts. I think right now you're not even going to have a fall of the Avengers, because we don't know what the new, and I talked about this in the beginning, we don't know who the new Avengers are. That's the fourth, of course, Avenger team that I was talking about. The Avenger team, essentially what Marvel is doing right now is building the new Avengers, essentially, with bringing in characters like Shang-Chi, the Eternals, stuff like that. So we don't know right now, because, we lost key characters. We lost key characters of Captain America. We lost key characters of, Iron Man. And things that will eventually come back out, as we know, like Ironheart. We know Sam's going to take the shield and become the next Captain America. We all know that's going to happen. But there's a lot of things, like I said, we don't know. We don't know what's happened with Hulk. And I'm wondering when we're going to know what's happening with Hulk. We know that She-Hulk's eventually coming, but we don't know what's going to be with that. I agree with you. I think Thunderbolts is a Disney Plus series, but it hasn't been, as far as my knowledge, that's rumored to be a Phase 5 project, but Disney has not officially, or MCU has not officially released Phase 5. They've hinted at some. I think it sounded like Blade, from what I heard, got pushed into Phase 5. But I don't think we've got a full Phase 5 lineup just yet. Arcade Pops, what's going on? I appreciate you. But we know we have the Young Avengers. So you got Billy and Tommy, who are Speed and Wiccan from the Young Avengers. We do have one that's been building up for years. We've got Scott, Ant-Man's daughter. Why can't I think of her name right now? She becomes a Young Avenger because she, it hangs around with Scott's along. She gets infected with the pin particle, and she grows. Instead of getting small like Ant-Man, she grows. And then we've recently, from Falcon and Winter Soldier, we got, of course, Elijah. So one of those two. Of course, we know that's Isaiah's grandson, and he then becomes Patriot as the leader of the Young Avengers. But there's a whole lot of, craziness with Patriot in the beginning of Young Avengers, because he really doesn't have any superpowers. Everybody thinks he has, has the super soldier, abilities like his grandfather does. But he's taking these like drugs to give him super serum and blah, blah, but it's a temporary thing. It's not the actual super soldier serum. He eventually tries to walk away. He gets injured. The only way he can save him is for his grandfather to give him some of his blood, which has a super soldier serum in him. And then, of course, he gets that super soldier serum in there. Okay. Now, this one I'm not sure. I don't know about this because Luke Cage and Iron Fist. I don't remember hearing about. And now, if they do it, they're going to do all new characters because I don't believe that the Netflix characters of Luke Cage and Iron Fist were re-signed. Now, we do know that John Bernthal, who played Punisher, has gotten signed into the MCU, and I can't remember the actor's name, but the guy who played Matt Murdock in Daredevil also got signed into the Marvel MCU. Now, I'd like personally doing a Punisher show. Let's leave that with Netflix. I think John Bernthal did fantastic with Punisher. I'd like to see them bring him back at some point in a great fashion. But to be honest with you, I'd love to see a new Daredevil, whether it's a TV series or whether it's a movie. But I'd love to see a really good Daredevil because, of course, Affleck killed Daredevil. As most of us know, Daredevil in the comics was so much darker than what was portrayed in the movie. Now, the Netflix series was fantastic. Had that very dark tones. Was awesome. I loved it. And I'd like to see that brought out on the big screen. I think it would be fantastic. Luke Cage was a leader of the Mighty Avengers, but in my research, I don't think there's not enough leading up to them bringing the Mighty Avengers. The Mighty Avengers was not in one of my possible Avengers teams to come out. And maybe in the future, but I don't think that one's coming, to be 1,000% honest. There's just not enough there. And again, mind you, we're working off a limited amount of information so far given. But, I don't think the Mighty Avengers yet. And that's just my perspective. There's not enough. I haven't seen enough to prove that the Mighty Avengers are coming. Young Avengers, yes. Dark Avengers, very good possibility. As we know, like I said, as we know the Secret Invasion's coming. We know possible for Armor Wars. We know that this is a possibility of Osborn showing up in Spider-Man: No Way Home. So again, there's lots of possibilities for that one. Young Avengers, yes, and of course also we know that I can't remember her name right now. Jess Liu, I know you're going to hit me on this. We know that in the Hawkeye TV series, which is coming at the end of the year, they are bringing in the Young Avenger Archer. That it does become part of the Young Avengers. So it's all over it's all being set up for Young Avengers. That one, I'm pretty confident in that. Dark Avengers, I'd love to see it. It's a very good possibility. This last one, just like the Mighty Avengers, to be 1,000% honest. Here, my color is coming back. Not Finn Jones. Okay. And that's a good possibility. The only one out of those Netflix series I really didn't care much for was Iron Fist. I don't think they did Iron Fist that great. I think it could have been more with that. But Luke Cage, I think that actor did fantastic with playing Luke Cage. Kate Bishop, there you go. Kate Bishop, of course, we know is being introduced in Hawkeye, who she is also in the Young Avengers. So there's all kinds of stuff. I agree with you, Arcade Pop. She-Hulk is going to be awesome. And there are rumors that somewhere between Loki and Black Widow, that we're going to see the character, not She-Hulk, but we're going to see, I can't remember the character. I think it's starts with a C. Carol. Let me say Carol. Who the main name is for She-Hulk. Well, now I got to look it up because now it's bothering me. She-Hulk name. Suzanne. Oh, wow. Why did I screw it? Jennifer Suzanne Walters. I'm sorry. Jennifer Suzanne Walters. I think that she is going to make an appearance somewhere in some way. That's the rumors right now between Black Widow and possibly Loki. We don't know. That's a possibility, and I'm just throwing that out there. That may not be true at all, but I would say somewhere, maybe even Shang-Chi. Who knows? I'm still betting on that the first Deadpool appearance you're going to see could possibly be in Shang-Chi. Again, that's more of a hope than an actual guess. But as my fourth Avengers team that I would love to see come back, and it's got possibilities, but I think it's on the least possible of it happening, and that is the West Coast Avengers. Of course, the West Coast Avengers was put together by Hawkeye, and it had, I think the original one had War Machine, Tigra, Wonder Man, and this is where I think the possibility of the West Coast Avengers could be happening, because the West Coast Avengers did have both White Vision and Wanda, as well as Moon Knight. Now we know Moon Knight's coming because that's being played by Oscar Isaac, which I'm so looking forward to that. I think that guy's going to kill that role. I think he's going to do. Mind you, when I say kill, I don't mean Robert Pattinson kill. I mean, he's going to do awesome at that role. He's going to do fantastic. But we know from WandaVision, White Vision took off somewhere. We don't know where he went. And I'm sure he's going to pop up at some point. But the West Coast Avengers is the only Avengers team that I know of that I've been able to find research on, because that's one thing that kind of led me to getting into this timeline, is I want to start researching what happens to White Vision. And he does end up as part of the West Coast Avengers at some point. So that's really my only connection that I've been able to see with the West Coast Avengers. And of course, and we know Hawkeye is around, War Machine, but I don't know. I see War Machine is going to be more focused, I think, on Armor Wars when we get to that point than anything. But I'd love to see them bring Tigra into it, and also Wonder Man. I think those would be some great characters, but we haven't heard anything about those two characters, so I have no idea. But I'd love to see West Coast Avengers. I've read some of those comics. I absolutely love that. And that's a good possibility too. Somebody did say that I was reading that White Vision could show back up in Armor Wars. Possibility. And that could be also the West Coast Avengers connection with White Vision, because of course, War Machine was in West Coast Avengers, and so was White Vision. So that could be the connection. We don't know. I think where it may tell on that is when we get to the Hawkeye TV show. Because, of course, we know some point in the Hawkeye TV show, Kate Bishop is going to then go to the Young Avengers. And what happens to Hawkeye after that? Does he go and start the West Coast Avengers? Does he become just part of the new Avengers? I don't know. Your theory is as good as mine. But, I wouldn't mind seeing the West Coast Avengers. Now, mind you, these are only 4 of what I think. Of course, you can, when I say new Avengers, you can put a lot of things. That could be whatever MCU is building up to be the next actual Avengers group. But, it's hard to say. But there's a lot of other ones, like you said, the Mighty Avengers, stuff like that. And I know there's been some other Avengers groups, but I think that those are 3 to 4 best possible Avengers teams that I could see that is going to pop up and spawn within this realm. But then again, what brings into a lot of play with this as well is we know the Fantastic Four is coming. So, of course, we do know that, we got Victor Von Doom, and he's going to create a whole bunch of chaos in the MCU world as well. So, who knows how they're going to play into that one. But, I think the connection between Sony and MCU is going to be strong for many years. And I think they would be smart to renew their contracts with that. Because I think that the connection, especially if Sony can truly build up the Spider-Verse, I think the connection, because there's also been a connection with the Dark Avengers with Venom as well at some point. And I think that it can definitely, I think there's a whole bunch of great connections being made, and us YouTubers can sit here and guess and plot and see what's going to happen all day long. But, that's all it is. It's just strictly guessing, but, or hoping. Actually, I'll change that. It's probably more of hoping than anything. What Wayne said is Vision is in play for anything. That is true. But there's only been, I think, a certain scenarios as far as the comic book role. If we're talking about comic books becoming reality in the MCU, I think there's only a few roles that we end up eventually seeing White Vision show back up. It said I do think that I agree with you. That was a genius way to leave him, where he just, and mind you, that's a Guinness, but I know you corrected yourself here. I agree with you. I think that was a genius way for them to leave White Vision as essentially a giant question mark. What happened to White Vision? Who knows? At this point, he could show up anywhere. He could show up in I think we're going to have a mass of characters in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness next year. I think that's going to be a big one. That's one that I don't care what's going on in the world. I'm going to watch that one in the theaters. I think that's one that's definitely going to have that. You're going to want the theater experience for Doctor Strange. But there's just so much going on, and there's so many possibilities of so many different things. But I got into trying to follow what could happen to White Vision, and it just led me to this Avengers level that I just possibilities are endless here. But I do think that the Dark Avengers, the Young Avengers, and very possibly the West Coast Avengers could be in play as we go on. Of course, we don't know where completely Phase 5 is going officially, and we have no idea where Phase 6 is going with this either. So, again, I think you got to think too, Marvel is just not trying to build this up for another 10 years. And, Marvel is trying to build this up, and they've got enough storyline. They can build this up for another 30, 40 years, and of course, characters are going to come and characters are going to go, and that's just the way it is. But, if they keep this going, man, they've got years and years and years to come that they are going to get in this. And right now is probably the best time to do it, because now all those kids that were, the people the kids sitting in the comic books, in the comic book shops when they were young, reading the comic books, even in the shop, and still buying it and reading it at home, like myself, we're all the adults now. We're the one paying this, and we want to see what we read as kids onto the big screen. And I think that's the biggest thing with a lot of this stuff. And, that's why I love Marvel. That's why I'm such a big, fan of it. But that's why I also say, like I told, where was I telling DJ, definitely get out there, and, I could find, like he said, I could find the whole set of Dark Avengers online for $50. But you want to go out there and support your local comic book shop. I found a comic book shop I love. Guys are great there. They, we talk a lot of information back and forth, and it's fantastic. But get out there, support your local comic book shop. Get out there, read some comics. And like I said, just because we're basing, as fans, we're basing a lot of this stuff off of the comics. But as we know from Infinity Wars, it's not always going to be, based off the comics. They are going to make their own adjustments, and they are going to bring their own keys into this whole thing. But, it's going to take time, and, who knows where they're building up. But I'm all for the way Marvel or MCU is building this up. And I think even for years to come, I think Stan is even going to be very proud of the way this world goes. Because I think he was happy with the first 10 years. Like I said, rest in peace, Stan Lee. But I've got nothing but hope for the future with this MCU. But what do you guys think? I want to know where you guys think this is going to take. Where is there anything that I might have possibly missed that could lead up to something different? Very possible. Anything could be possible here on what has been missed. But where do you guys think on either Avengers characters, storylines? What do you guys either want to see, or where do you guys think that things are going to go? That's the big thing, is everything's always up to speculation. We're speculating until it actually is shown to us. So I agree with you, Jess Lou. Love the smell of a comic book shop. I've got a thing too. Like I said, I like buying the older comics, even into the 80s, 90s. If I can at least find 80s, 90s, there's something about that older paper, that darker paper that they have on it, and it's got a smell to it too. I don't know. I love the smell of older comic books. I love the artwork and the look of the newer paper that they use and the newer looks that they use. But There's something about an older comic book smell. I absolutely love it. I'm buying the reader versions and looking for the comics second. I would agree. Definitely, if anything, just start buying your reader versions. If you eventually read it and it gets to a point where, hey, like you said, you want to see the Thunderbolts, you get the Thunderbolts comments or comics and you read them, you like them, and then you're like, you know what, hey, these comics are out. Let me go send it out and get it graded. You've already read the comic, so it's no big deal to now take your reader comic and make it a an actual one. I mean, get some boards, some sleeves and boards online. I think I usually buy them on Amazon. I get them like 50 at a time. I don't buy a ton of comics, but any comic I do buy, I instantly put them in sleeves and boards, and you just keep those things looking good and pristine and at all times, and you just kind of keep it up. But I mean, I still got this one I got to get to, which I had purchased from, which was an indie comic. I had purchased it from Metaphorical, because he had a alternate cover, I guess, made, which I absolutely love. I love these two. I am currently reading. We get my current now. These ones I haven't bagged and boarded yet, but I am currently still in the middle of reading the Falcon Winter Soldier series. I think they got five or six issues of this right now. Doesn't follow the TV series all that much, but it's a fantastic read. And my other absolute favorite right now has got to be the Eternals. This is issue number 2, which I think came out last month. Issue number 3 should be coming out this month sometime, I would assume. And they of course they have variant covers for all of them right now. Like I had a variant cover for the first one, and then of course a variant edition for the second. And it's a fantastic read. I love them both. Especially I'm so looking forward to the Eternals movie. I think it's going to be fantastic. And because don't forget, we've got a lot of Marvel coming up. We got a ton of Marvel coming up. We've got, once Falcon Winter Soldier, we got these 2 episodes. Now, if you haven't watched it yet, I guess I haven't watched them yet. But this episode and next week's the last episode next week, they're supposed to be long episodes. They're supposed to be over an hour long. So, embrace yourself for that. But, and then we've got, we're going to have about a 6-week, lull before Loki starts on June 9th. And then, of course, July 9th, we're going to get Black Widow, who's going to be both in theaters as well as on Disney Plus on Premier Access, which is going to be, $29 to buy it from there. And then you got Shang-Chi coming out in, as far as movie-wise, then you got Shang-Chi coming out in September, which, if you don't know who Shang-Chi is, you got to get some Shang-Chi comic books. I love that character. I'm so excited to see that one come to the big screen. And then, of course, you got Eternals coming out in November, and Spider-Man No Way Home coming out in December. So, as far as movie goes, and then, of course, I know we still got a lot of TV shows. We got Hawkeye coming out. We got Loki, as I said. We've got, I forgot the What If series, which is going to be an animated series. I did read somewhere there's starting to be merchandise coming out for the What If series. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And I'd like to see if they come out with some What If series pops. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, what do you guys think? I really would like to see what they come out with that, but so Wayne said no, the reader books, and that's fine. Not everyone grades their comics. I don't have any graded comics, but they were like 1 through 15 for the Thunderbolts. Yeah, I think there's a 1 through 15. Now, what you can always do if you don't want to find the individual books, I think you can find the what are they, Jesse Lou? They're called novels. Where it'll have like a bunch of the different comic books kind of put into one type thing. You can go that route too, and do the novels, and just, that way you don't have to buy so many overall books. I like buying the overall books rather than the novels, but the novels are sometimes an easier read because, it basically jumps from one comic to the next. So you keep the storyline pretty much intact. And so, like I said, sometimes the novels are a lot easier overall to read. But I prefer the individual comics myself. I can see how the X-Men are coming in the MCU with the Eternals and Kang the Conqueror. I'm very excited to see Kang the Conqueror. I've been teasing about that for a while because I think that once Tony figured out time travel, I think he became aware of Kang the Conqueror. He just and some people are saying there were some hints in Endgame. I don't think there was, but I got a feeling that Tony did know of Kang the Conqueror. He just didn't say anything about it. But I'm excited to see them bring Kang the Conqueror to the silver screen. I think that would be fantastic. And then I get those and then look for comics. Yeah, like I said, you especially I know you said sometimes you have a hard time, figuring out the storyline of what's going on. The novels, the graphic novels, yeah, here you said graphic novels. Sometimes, like I said, they're a easier read because it ends. You can kind of tell when one comic book ends into another because sometimes it's got slightly different artwork from one to the next. Maybe it was a different artist on one issue or another, but it's definitely, like I said, it's easier to follow the storyline sometimes on the graphic novels. But like I said, I prefer the individual issues myself. I think they're much easier one to go with. But like I said, I think I picked this one up not that long ago because they had it. My comic book shop has like a whole bunch of boxes of like older, maybe beat up comics, and they're all $1. And I ended up finding this Amazing Spider-Man in there. I mean, any Amazing Spider-Man for $1, take that all day. Said yes, they're much easier to read and understand. It says with all these variant covers, does anyone know if the stories are the same or different? As far as I understand, the cover is the only thing that changes. The story inside is exactly the same from depending on it's just the covers keep changing for it. But as far as like this Eternals with the variant cover, I think they have like three or four different covers for this, and it's all the same comic. It's all the same comic. It's just a different cover. And sometimes, I almost actually bought the original cover, not the variant, because I actually kind of like the look of the original one better than this one. But I decided at the last minute to take the variant cover. But sometimes it's just down to which cover you like the best, to be 1,000% honest. Variant covers have the same stories. So everything inside is the same. It's just the cover outside is different. So like I said, to me, it's just about your preference of what you want. Now, of course, this is definitely my reader copy because I don't know if you guys can tell on this one. I was reading this a couple times, and I've got a ton of spine ticks down the side of this thing. So I mean, this isn't something I plan on selling anytime soon, but definitely those are going to take the grading down, but again, to me, it's my reader copy, so really, it doesn't matter. I have 3 Immortal Hulk #1s, but different stories. That one I don't know about. Jesse Liu may know a little bit more information about that one. I know in some cases they have done like different plot lines for different stories, kind of like alternate universes. Like when it gets into the multiverse. I believe I've seen something in that realm where they've done different items like that. But as far as the 3 different Hulk stories, I'm not sure. Jesse Liu's probably going to be your man on that one to explain that one a little bit more. But like I said, get out there, do some research, read some comics. My biggest one I'm going to be looking for right now in as far as comic book shop is I'm going to be looking for the Dark Avengers. I'm really the more I learn about them, the more I'm really getting into them. So I'm really interested in checking that one out. Another series that may be interested, an older series that may be interested to get into to check out because I definitely think they're going to be coming in the Spider-Verse, the Sony Spider-Verse, not in the MCU, but I think they'll eventually cross over. Is the Sinister Six. I definitely think the Sinister Six is in play. Is going to be a possibility. And I know if you're a Spider-Man fan, you have been waiting for the possibility of the Sinister Six. I can't wait. I'd love to see that happen, and definitely get it. But that'd be another good series to look into and try to check out. They're probably different volumes, limited series, or one shots. Yeah, that's a good possibility too. I forgot about one shots. A lot of times they're just the single comic story line in there. But don't forget, even though I typically go after Marvel when I do go to the comic book shops, I usually try to also, because my comic book shop, I don't know if everyone's said the same, but of course when you go to the new issue racks, you've got new issues of just Marvel, new issues of just DC, and then of course you've got a whole rack of new issues of indies. I try to, check out new indie comics because there's some artists that are doing some fantastic work now that you can find a great new series that you never heard of, artists that you never heard of, writers that you never heard of, and they're doing something right, and they're going to be the next big in the future. And you read their earlier stuff, definitely check it. I try to check out at least one new indie comic each time. I've got a group of friends at work that when I usually get done an indie comic, I usually pass it along to him, and try to check out different ones. My buddies are very big into Image comics. There's a lot of indie comics from Image. I like some of the Dark Horse indie comics, and that's fine. But if you ever want to get more knowledge on indie comics, I do recommend checking out Comic Book Poser. He is a huge indie comic fan, and he really, really gets into it. Like Jesse was saying, he's getting into indie comics lately. This huge, big, range. Hey, Christina, how you doing? Indie comics are having a big run, especially there's a lot of great artists coming out. Of course, Marvel and DC, they get the major focus, but definitely don't get shy on indie comics by any means. There's some great comic books out there, and you can get them. You can get the indie comics rather cheap, but sometimes I've actually taken Comic Book Posers. He does I think a video. I think it's every week or every other week, talking about the new indie comics out, stuff like that. And there's a couple that are on there that I've taken his suggestions. I went out and checked out. So they're like I said, there's some fantastic ones. There's also another channel called Geeky Comic Guy. He does a live with some other guys from, I think, the UK. I think they're all from the UK. And they do talk about a lot of indie comics as well, taking some of their suggestions at the same time. So that's another fantastic channel to get into. But that's a lot of Marvel talk. Now, of course, we've got a Marvel Pop to give away. And I think what we're going to do, how do we give this guy away? Now, I personally like to do I like to, give some, help to fellow YouTubers, stuff like that. So I think we are going to go that route. And I've got a gentleman in mind. In fact, it's someone we have actually talked about today. One of the YouTuber we'd actually just brought up recently. And I'm trying to pull up his most recent video real quick. And I'm going to have you go over to his channel. And this is for the zombie MODOK. Now I'm enforcing the new international rules, unfortunately, that I know Wayne and I have talked about starting, and it's actually I'm completely stealing this from the luau. That just because international rates are just getting ridiculous as far as shipping goes, but I will ship to you internationally, but I only cover the first $10. And otherwise we will talk privately and go from there if you do win. So but what I'm going to do is I am going to send y'all over to my boy Remy over at Comic Book Poser, and he's got some fantastics. Again, if you like indies, this is the man to check out. So I've got his latest video up here, and I'm going to go ahead and post it. Now, what I want you, let's see, what kind of hashtag should we use? Let's loot. We're gonna do this since I unboxed 2 zombie items. We're gonna go hashtag Techbot loves zombies. I know, weird. I gotta get creative from time to time. But here, I'm gonna put this up here. You guys can go in there, hit that link, go over real quick. I'm gonna give you all about 10 minutes. We'll keep talking Marvel. I'll give you all about 10 minutes to get over there and put a comment on that video, as well as go over there and don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button if you haven't done so already. But put in the description, put a comment in the description and put hashtag Techbot loves zombies, and that will get you. I'll bring up the comment picker real quick, and that'll get you to possibly win this zombie MODOK pop. I mean, why not? I just, like I said, I was at Books of Millions, found my Thor. I saw MODOK. I was like, I already got him, but I figured you guys might like him. I love the zombie line, and MODOK out of these new ones was one of my absolute favorite because of the way they set him up. Because he's actually on a base, and this whole top bobbles. It's funny. I did a zombie video recently. If you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. But let me get that YouTube comment picker. Bring that up, get that one set up. But if you are domestic, again, I will ship anywhere within the United States, and I'll cover all the shipping and everything like that. So let me get this in there and keep an eye on this. So actually, I want to comment on here. Anybody that is still watching, out of all the stuff still coming out of Phase 4, whether it's a TV show or whether it's a movie, which are you most looking forward to out of all of them? Me, it's Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. That one I'm most looking forward to, hands down. Probably second would be Spider-Man No Way Home, because other than Captain America, Spider-Man is my second favorite. So you gotta love Spider-Man on that one. So that's the one I'm most looking for. But I want to know which ones you guys are most looking for. In fact, I even think we need to see a Marvel zombie TV show come to Disney Plus. I think that would be awesome. I mean, maybe zombies are too much for all of them, but who knows. But I know we've only got a couple people in the chat. Hopefully, some people did leave. We had more people watching earlier, so I'm hoping people are over at Comic Book Posers. But definitely, I think we've only got 2 comments, and we need to get some more over here so you guys can show him some love. I'd like to get at least 5. Come on, guys. We're going to get at least 5 over there. So get over there, show Comic Book Posers some love, and that way you get otherwise, it's just going to be 2 people. It's going to be 50-50 chance you're going to win this zombie MODOK if you don't have it already. Or if you have it and you can sell it, I don't care what you do with it afterwards. It doesn't matter to me. So, but yeah, he's definitely, and that would be one you want to hit that subscribe button if you're into comic books and stuff like that. Remy is an awesome dude, extremely knowledgeable. And I don't know how he finds the time to be 1,000% honest. I mean, he guy's a teacher. He does extra stuff for his students. I mean, dude's just a fantastic, straight up guy. And he finds so much. He just is awesome on his content too. Says Eternals. I want to see Salma Hayek in the MCU. Isn't she in the Eternals? I know Angelina Jolie is. Pretty sure Salma Hayek is. But yeah, I would agree with you. I'm a Salma Hayek fan. I think she's going to do fantastic, and go from there. But like I said, I think the whole story of the Eternals is going to be fantastic. To be 1,000% honest with you. But again, hey, I know the link's up here. Go to Comic Book Posers if you want to win. You guys are just joining, or you want to win this Funko Pop Marvel Zombies Zombie MODOK. all you got to do is go to the link in the chat. That'll take you to Comic Book Poser's most recent video. Put hashtag Techbot, if I can say it right, put hashtag Techbot Love Zombies in the comment. Don't forget to like the video as well as hit that subscribe button for him. And we're going to give you guys about 5 more minutes. It is what it is. If it's only 2 people, guess what? It's going to be 1 or 2 people. And, you know, it's going to be nice, easy win for somebody. So let's check this again real quick. Come on, where's Remy? And him and I have been trying to get together to try to do some get him back on the live or something like that. And, you know, our schedules just haven't been aligning, going from there. So, yeah, in fact, that video he recently did was all Funko shops and Soda King and stuff like that. So that was a fantastic video. If you guys only watch it briefly, definitely go back and watch it because that was a good video that he did. So definitely check it out. But, you know, I mean, Jesse Lou, for you as far as a comic book guy, you know, what are you most looking forward to? It could even be Moon Knight. I mean, Moon Knight I think is going to be awesome. I think Oscar Isaac is a fantastic choice for that. I also do know that there's a lot of rumors about who's possibly going to play Wolverine. You know, why do I always forget his first name? But Eastwood's kid. I'm all for that. I think if he gets it, that would be a fantastic choice to get it and go from there. So, you know, take it for what it is. But watch the clock. We've got about 3 more minutes. Again, if you guys are coming in, get over to Comic Book Posers channel. Click that link for the Marvel Zombie MODOK. Fantastic pop. The box is clean, by the way. The front, you can probably see from here, the front screen has no scratches, no nothing. That front window. Box looks awesome. Of course, it's got the sticker on the bottom. But the box looks fantastic. It's I mean, for especially something that's been sitting on the shelf for a little bit. I mean, that's an awesome box. Shang-Chi, yeah, that's another one. I'm so glad it's coming out in September. So I mean, you really got to think that's not going to be that long before we're going to get Shang-Chi. But I think Shang-Chi, if I remember correctly, this is going to really be the first new character we're getting in quite some time. So that's definitely a plus because we haven't gotten a brand new character since Captain Marvel. So I think that'll be a really good one. But yeah, Shang-Chi I think that's gonna be a fantastic route to go. Hey, we got another one. So we got about another 90 seconds. 90 seconds. If you're in here, you're just joining. Again, we got Marvel Zombie MODOK. We are going to be giving away. Click that link to take you over to Comic Book Poser's website latest video. Put in the comment section hashtag Techbot Love Zombies, and that will get you in the running. We're going to do that giveaway in probably about a minute, and go in there. Yeah, I'm excited for What If too. I think What If, and I like that the fact that they did go to animated on this. I think that's really the only true way to do it. But the What If series in the comics was also a fantastic series, and you know that's another one to grab if you guys want to get something, you know, a good collection. The What If series is great because that kind of answered a lot of questions that fans had as far as, you know, what if this, what if that, and you know they kind of just, you know, went through and tried to answer things that fans had, stuff like that. For some reason, for a second there, I thought you're like, "Wait, I'm not on TikTok. What are you talking about?" But you're talking about the time. So let me go ahead and bring up the screen, and we are going to make a pick. It's 3 people. Guess what? You guys are getting a great opportunity to get yourself a pop. Why not? And so let's go ahead and pick this. Let's run this one more time. You got a great chance. Now we got 3 people. Who is it going to be? Jesse Lou Comics and Pops. what's funny is I may actually have a pop that you had won recently that I still have, I think, sitting with everything, all this move into this room and stuff like that. We just haven't got a chance to send it out. So now I got a double box to send out to you. So I already got your address. I will go ahead and put your name on this one and have my wife add this to the box and go from there. So congratulations, Jessie Lou, on winning. Again, if you guys want in the future, nowadays, every time I go to the look for pops or something like that, I'm starting to think about you guys now and the fact that, what pops may be you like. I'm going to start doing a little bit more giveaways. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to get the most out of it because I want to be able to help some of these different, YouTube channels and stuff like that. In order to do that, we got to be able to send more people to them. So I'm not sure if I should do it more through a video. Actually, I might do that next time. I know next week, instead of Techbot After Dark, we're going to do Techbot and JKL Awesome Eating Adventures, where we're going to do, I think I have 8 weird soda fixins, and we got bacon and ranch dressing soda. I don't know. I'm not really looking forward to this one 100%, but we're going to do it anyways. And maybe I got to start planning this out a little bit more. Maybe I'll start showing you guys the giveaways in the video and then tell you to go ahead and go to it. Or maybe I'll announce it on Instagram or Facebook. And if you don't follow me on Instagram and Facebook, that information is right above my head up here. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram or Facebook. Stay tuned for that because regardless if I announce a giveaway in my videos and then actually do the giveaways in my lives, I will always make the announcement in my Instagram and Facebook. And I'm thinking about actually starting a Twitter for Techbot as well. But we'll get there when we get there. But the best way to know when I do giveaways, again, is to follow me on Instagram or Facebook. As I did announce it briefly today, although I think I put the message out kind of late. So that's all right. I've been stacking up some giveaways. They say right up here above my computer. I'm not going to show you guys yet, but we do have some really cool ones. So every time I try to go to the store and I try to see which ones you guys might like, and I try to grab a pop or two to get into there. But have I been saying it wrong the whole time? Just to do comes pops. It's so sweet of you. I like it said Modoc. Yeah, I would always write it as Modoc. Even though to be honest with you, I don't know what the Modoc stands for. I'm pretty sure Jesse Luke could tell you. That one I'm not 100% positive, but this was probably out of this new run. That was one of my favorite zombie pops. So, that if you don't have this one already, it'll be a great ad for you. But otherwise, that's all I got for you guys today. Leave a comment if you're watching this on the replay. Leave me a comment. Don't forget to smash that like button as well, that little red button. And as well as if you guys there is a join button. If you haven't done so already, hit that join button. That'll take you to the Donut Life membership. Get different prices for different people from $1 to $10. And that'll give you different items or props. So definitely get on there, check it out, be part of the Donut Life. That's how you're going to get the little donut icons that you see like Jesse Lou have in the comment section on the side. And as the longer he becomes a member, those donut toppings are going to change over time. But again, as far as the members that are in the shout out level, next week I'm going to have an ending to show you guys a shout out with your logos. So please stay tuned for that. But I am going to right now have Jesse Lou Comics and Pops, Chase's Kingdom, as well as Andy Roberts and Holly Roberts and family. Thank you guys for being a member of Burger Life. And again, if you haven't done so already, hit those down below. Otherwise, I know Lily always rushes up at the end to come say bye to you guys. But
I waited so long. I tried to make it happier. I heard you saying stuff like the shout out, and then I was like, I gotta get there in time to
But
You
we
know
are
it.
definitely going to, and mind you, look forward to her in the future now that we've got the better setup here and we can sit out here better. We're going to be bringing Lily in to do some more mystery boxes in soon. So we're going to do some more mystery boxes with her in time. So definitely stay tuned for that. But other than that, guys, I want to thank you guys as always for coming, hanging out with me, talking some comics, talking some MCU. And as always, it's what I like to do. But as always, do what you like, do what you love, and always, guys, unleash your inner nerd.
I'm actually starting to get kind of